Denmark is a small country, but with a large capital city. And although the total population of the land is 4 millions, a quarter of them live, work and play in Copenhagen. Modern Copenhagen is a lovely city, a busy city. Traffic in the rush hours is considerable, added to which the national habit of bicycle riding gives it an original touch. The Danes love to eat in the sunshine. Open-air restaurants appear everywhere on the sidewalks, and here at the Hotel Angleterre, the tables are well attended. No doubt the national dish, smørrebrød, is being ordered. The main square of Copenhagen, the Rådhuspladsen, is the gathering point for all visitors, including the pigeons. Dominating the square is the City Hall, which is a monumental building containing the offices of the City Corporation and a number of municipal administration offices. The social services are well catered for by the city fathers, and the housing problem has been tackled in no uncertain manner. In the new part of the city, blocks of lovely modern flats cover acre upon acre of green land. These flats are provided with central heating and constant hot water, and the lucky tenants must find it a pleasure to live in them. Copenhagen is noted for its fine buildings, and among them is the Christiansborg Palace. This was originally erected in 1733 by King Christian VI, but with the exception of buildings surrounding the riding grounds, the palace was destroyed by fire in 1794. It was later rebuilt by King Frederick VI, but again a fire did its deadly work in 1884, and only the palace chapel and the riding ground buildings were saved. The palace in its present appearance was completed in 1928 and contains the Royal Audience Rooms, the Supreme Court of Justice, the Danish Parliament, and the Foreign Office. At the Royal Palace, in the old part of the town, the changing of the guard is taking place. Each day at noon, in the big square formed by the four wings of the 18th century Amalienborg Palace, the guards are on parade. Their headgear, made of bearskin, is a last remnant of the fear-inspiring war equipment of the old Danish Vikings. The guards, in their picturesque and historic uniforms, carrying on the ancient tradition, always attract many spectators, Copenhageners and visitors alike. Nearby is the Frederiks Church, with its remarkable copper dome, so beautifully patinated. Near the harbour proper, and extending into the town, are numerous interesting canals. On this one lies the unique marble bridge, which is more than 200 years old. Hurrying along to have a good look at the amenities and absorbing views of Copenhagen as seen from the sea are men, women and children from the provinces, from abroad, and from Copenhagen itself. The sightseeing boats are always kept busy, for the Danes are a great seafaring nation, with a history going back to the Vikings, those mighty sea warriors of the 9th century. And the modern Dane is keenly interested in anything that floats, just as his ancestors were. The good ship Aladdin is off on its local voyage of discovery. southern portion of Copenhagen, which includes the harbor, rests on two islands. These are connected by two bridges, and the one which has opened to let us pass is called the Long Bridge. The natural channel provided by the two islands makes an excellent harbor, and today Copenhagen occupies a dominating position for maritime trade in the north of Europe. But the harbor contains other interesting aspects besides that of trade, and this three-masted bark, now used as a training ship, makes a very pretty picture against the clear summer sky. Copenhagen is by far the most important town in Denmark, and certainly lives up to the literal translation of its name, which means Merchant's Harbour. Wrecks, still to be seen in the harbour, are grim reminders of the war years, battles having been fought in the very heart of the country. But the Danes know another war must not recur, and with optimism they build and rebuild, and the quays and dry docks covering a large area of the harbour are scenes of great activity. This ship, the Copenhagen, is the biggest vessel in the whole of Scandinavia. Her graceful lines must be admired. Another achievement for Denmark is this whaler for the Norwegian waters. This was launched in 1948 and is the largest of its type to be built here. As we pass across the harbour, blue jackets remind us that this is also a naval as well as a merchant harbour. And here is our opportunity to see the Royal Yacht, a gleaming example of the Danes' craftsmanship in boat building. The Danish people can surely be proud of their charming city of Copenhagen, with its lovely buildings, its magnificent harbour, and great historical associations. These sights and scenes remain for always a pleasant reminder of Denmark's beautiful city, Copenhagen. Copenhagen, city of 1 million people, with its bright, busy streets, presents a varied panorama of movement during the rush hour. But a smooth traffic system and pedestrian crossings ensure a steady flow in all directions, even for this gentleman with his horizontal friend. A unique building in Copenhagen, and for that matter anywhere in the world, is the church made entirely from bricks, the Organ Church, erected as a memorial to one of Denmark's most eminent sons, Bishop Grundtvig, who was a great reformer and educationalist. Fine, and all the pillars and walls are laid in brick throughout their entire thickness. Only a chosen few bricklayers took part in the work, and most of them were engaged right from the laying of the foundation stone until the completion in 1940. And so today, this beautiful structure, visible for miles around, creates a deep and lasting impression on all who see it. The catching of fish is one of the city's many and varied occupations. and one can spend hours watching the colorful activities of the fish workers as they busily use their nimble fingers preparing for the next day's catch. Here, on one of the oldest canals in the center of Copenhagen, is the fish market. Throughout the centuries, fishwives have been selling live fish here to the housewives of the capital, and their quaint headgear has remained unchanged throughout the years. It is soon appreciated that what these fishwives don't know about fish is not worth knowing, and the call of "all alive-o," in Danish of course, is heard every day from early morning until noon. The statue in the background is a modern one of many dotted around the city as a tribute to the ordinary man and woman in the street. Meat always follows fish, and here we see one of the famous bacon factories. Danish bacon is enjoyed the world over, and a brisk trade is done in the many market sections of the packing stations. From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. when the buyers arrive, this huge market is normally a hive of activity. But today, things are quiet. Even so, there is plenty of bacon ready for delivery. From bringing home the bacon to bringing home flowers, and so to the flower market. The Danish people love to give flowers. Any reason will do, they give them even to men. The market is in a flourishing condition, with the flower growers making an ever-increasing influx into the city. By 6 o'clock in the morning, the Grondhof Square is gay with blooms of every conceivable hue. Come along at the right time, and you will be whirled into a happy bustle of busy buyers and sellers. Here and there you will catch sight of a conscientious lover or a dutiful husband buying flowers for his lady. Everybody rides a bike in Copenhagen, or so it seems. For miles, the long tree-lined roads, all perfectly flat, are thronged with happy cyclists all riding along in a steady stream. It is natural for the postmen, too, to use a cycle in their daily round. And here we see them leaving the General Post Office for a day in the saddle. Still they come, these men of letters, intent on joining the ranks of fellow cyclists traversing the city. It seems certain that the famous plea, "Mind my bike," must have originated here. A few motorcycles are used, but one finds the common or garden push bike greatly outnumbering any other means of transportation. One could describe Copenhagen's celebrated pleasure park, the Tivoli, as unique. But this does not suggest the charm and delight to be found here, where the visitor can stroll amidst the lovely gardens and listen to open-air music. Symbolizing this spirit is the statue of the Danish composer H.C. Lumby, erected on the spot where for many years his music gave pleasure to thousands. The Tivoli might be called an amusement park, but though the frills and spills are here, all tastes are catered for, and the children, bless them, have a special section of their own. Secluded tea houses are here for those who prefer a quiet corner. And for those who like company, There are many places dotted about the gardens where, with orchestras playing, one may be amused just watching or listening. As Denmark is a country made up of more than 500 islands with nearly 5,000 miles of coastline, it is no wonder that swimming is one of the most popular of sports with the people, most of whom learn to swim in childhood. Favorite beach for the Copenhageners is the Bellevue Strand, situated 6 miles north of the city. The beach is a happy playground for all, with a special shallow part for the children. The miles of gleaming white, smooth sands make it an ideal place for bathing and sunbathing. Danish girls are noted for their beauty and svelte figures. The true Nordic types, with their slim grace and fair hair, are found everywhere. Not you, Mama. Lie down. It is fitting that a visit to the gay and charming city of Copenhagen should conclude with this scene in mind. For the sunshine and beauty we see here exemplifies the buoyant spirit of the Danish capital. Miss Copenhagen, may we extend to your delightful city our most grateful thanks for a lovely time.